want to know, what do you value? Scripture says, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Your heart will go where your energy flows. So I want to know, are you a mission-minded man in the flow of your purpose? You say, well, what does that look like? I'm so glad you asked. Let's talk about what it takes to be a real MVP. Yeah. Men valuing purpose. Oh, I'm mic'd up. Join me. Let's mix it up. What's going on, family? How you doing? How you living? How's it going? What's happening? I hope you're doing well. Well, we are here. We're tapped in for another edition of In the Mix. We're talking about MVP. Oh, yeah. Real MVP. Come on, family. Type MVP. Hit the thumbs up button on this video. Yeah, I need you to do both those things. I need you to do two things. Hit the thumbs up button on this video. I'm growing your greatness. Help me to grow my channel. Yeah, it's going to be an explosion of inspiration and empowerment. Then I need you to type MVP in the chat. MVP, men valuing purpose. Isn't it interesting that in the book of Genesis, particularly around Genesis chapter 2, as God created Adam in the garden, God gave the man a place. God gave the man power, dominion. Adam also had presence. He walked with God in the cool of the day. He had the presence of God on his life. But here's the thing, Adam also had purpose. Come on, family, type purpose. A job is what you're paid for, but your calling and your purpose is what you're made for. Isn't it interesting in Genesis chapter 2 that before God ever gave him, him being Adam, a woman, God first gave the man work. Before God ever gave Adam a woman, God gave Adam work. Why did God give Adam work? Because work means to cultivate. Work means to become. Work means I've been divinely designed with a purpose in mind. It will work if you work it. The idea, the dream, the gift, the vision, the idea. How are you prioritizing your purpose? And here's the thing, MVP. Yeah, I know it's a sports terminology. Most valuable player. And for a lot of us, that's what you know how to be. Yeah, player, but you never listen to your heavenly coach. Here it is. You don't just get the MVP award for you just being the best at what you do. You get the MVP award by, yes, being the best at what you do, but by also improving those who are around you. You don't just go as high as your dream. You go as high as your team. Teamwork is what makes the dream work. As an MVP, do I recognize that I have a most valuable purpose? Dear, come on, family, type king, type king. I'm talking to my kings as well as the queens who love them. I'm talking to my kings, but as well as the queens who love us. Come on, queens. Come on, kings. Type queen. Yeah, type king. Type queen. Queens, I need you to understand this. I know you want the man to prioritize you as number one. But sometimes you become public enemy number one. Oh, it's going to get a little spicy up in here. Going to get a little spicy. Because here's the thing. It doesn't matter how much value, love, honor, and respect a man derives from a relationship and a marriage. His relationship, his marriage. Nothing will ever fulfill him like his purpose. Well, he told me he loved me. I'm sure he really does. But love don't pay the bills, baby. Love is also not a noun, it's a verb. And guess what? You provide for who you love. What is the place of the provision for a man to provide? It's through the prism of his purpose. Well, he don't never spend no time with me and da-da-da-da, and he always working and da-da-da. He was created to do that. I heard Bishop T.D. Jakes say this one time. He said, to a certain degree, with all that he has to do, there is going to be a particular place in his life with all that he is balancing. He's going to be better on one day at one particular thing than he is on another day. He said, on one particular day, I just may be a better father than I am a pastor. Some days, I may be a better pastor than I am a husband. Other days, I may be a better husband than I am a father. I may be a better businessman than I am in the community, or vice versa. I'm trying to find not so much a balance, but a rhythm. Because to a certain degree, as a man, I'm not one-dimensional, I'm multidimensional. I'm trying to be all things to all people that matter to me. And guess what? More than anything, a man who is driven, a man who is ambitious. I ain't talking about these lazy brothers out here. Just want to sit back at the crib and play video games, live at your house. He picking you up from work in your car. I ain't talking about them. I want to talk to these driven brothers. I want to talk about these driven brothers, and I want my sisters to understand us. The testosterone that we have, the competitive drive that we have, the makeup of a man. Oftentimes, even if you're like me, you're teetering on being a workaholic. It is what it is. You don't write 16 books if you're not driven. You don't build and you don't develop. And you don't create and you don't innovate and you don't do this on this platform over and over and over again 5 days a week, whether I want to do it or not, whether I'm feeling good or not. You know me. I've come with my nose stopped up, coughing, sneezing and wheezing and hacking, and I'm still, don't worry, the microphone has been sanitized. I'm strategizing. I will strategize. The microphone's been sanitized. But I'm still doing all that and still showing up. That's nothing but drive. And that's what flows through our DNA. Drive, ambition, passion, prioritization. And it is through the prism of purpose. Don't gaslight us. Don't make us feel worthless simply because we're focusing on purpose. To be fruitful and to multiply is about more than just a man and a woman coming together. It is, what am I doing to be fruitful and multiply with what it is that God has given me to do? Dr. Miles Monroe, the late, great Dr. Miles Monroe, I remember being in a session with him some years ago when he came to Detroit. And he said this: he has a 50-year vision for his life. Now here it is. The vision exceeded beyond just his age. It was for the stage of his family. The vision, because the man was already about 60 plus years of age that time he was speaking to us. As much as we'd like to, I don't know anybody who's living to 110. So that vision was going beyond him. It was about them. Who was them? His family. It was his grandchildren. It was his son. It was those who are his loved ones. It was those who are coming after him. Why? Because a good man leaveth an inheritance for his children's children. It's not my words, it's scripture. And you don't do that without a purpose. You don't do that as a man without a vision. Without a vision, the people perish. And too many of our brothers are perishing. Too many of our communities are perishing. Too many of our children are perishing. Too many of our homes are perishing. Too many of our churches are perishing. Too many of our schools are perishing simply because people have been void of vision. And guess what it begins with? Guess who it begins with? My dear brother from another mother, my dear sister from another mister. It begins with us as men, as the real MVPs. Men valuing purpose. Come on, family. Type value, value, value. You know how to value your car. You know how to value your clothes. You know how to value your buffs. Your yays, your Cartier frame glasses. You know how to value. Buying a whole lot of valuables. But are you valuable? Do you see yourself as valuable? A man who values his purpose prioritizes. I want to give you some traits about men valuing their purpose. Really want to talk about it. As I said before God ever gave man a woman, he gave him work. I got to prioritize work, because here's the thing. God saw that Adam was first responsible with what it is that he gave him. And because I saw that you were responsible with the garden, I can now give you the fruit of my garden. Are you hearing me? Because you're able to name the animals. Because you get a download from me by learning who I am and me showing you who you are. Because here it is, you've allowed me to show you you, and now you have a frame of reference with your identity. And your identity is not in things. Your identity is not in a woman. Your identity is not in a particular person. Your identity is not in cars and clothes and shoes and shirts. Your identity is not about how many followers you got. It's about how many leaders that you create from those who follow you. Real man. Real MVP. Because you understand that MVP is about more than having a trophy. It's about me having a testimony. I got somebody talking to me. Come on, family, type testimony. This ain't about no trophy. And they don't make no awards for that. Trophies, it ain't about that. Testimonies, oh, it's about that. Don't come talking about my glory, because it ain't nothing glorious about me. It's God's glory. I just got the story. I can testify that through the rearing, through the training, it was training for reigning. Through the storms and the winds, it was training for reigning. As an MVP, as a man who values purpose. Ladies, if a man won't value his purpose, if he won't be committed to his character, his calling, even in his career as a father, as a leader, as a brother, what makes you think that he's going to express any of them traits of what it is that I'm talking about to you? How does he handle his passion? How does he handle his purpose? How does he handle people? How does he handle praise? Oh yeah. It's going to, listen. Watch how people handle praise. Does it go to their head? Did they lose their mind to where now their head is so big they can't even walk through the front door, much less get out the back? They just trapped in their own mind, trapped in the closet. Done lost it. How does he handle praise? Because here's the thing, when you're able to handle praise accurately, you understand this about people. Same folks who will make a God out of you will make a devil out of you too. Same folks who said they'd be with you, you can't find them in the daytime with a flashlight. How does he handle praise? How does he handle people? How does he handle passion? And is he valuing his purpose? Why? Because God gave Adam 4 things before he ever gave him a woman. He gave him a place. Every man needs to have a place. And I'm talking about beyond his mama house, beyond his grandmama house. Got it? He does need to have his own place. But here it is. Let's go even deeper than that. Does he know his place? My brother from another mother. Do you know your place in life? Do you know your place? Because here's the thing. When you know your place, you know your lane. And when you know your lane, you ain't got to get in nobody else's, because if you're getting in everybody else's lane, you're going to be sure to crash. When you know your place, here's the thing, you're not looking back at the past and getting a neck cramp. No, I'm looking forward. Forward ever, backward never. Got to know my place in life. Where do I fit in the place of my calling? I'm not waiting on an opportunity. I'm going to create one. I know my place. I know my gift. I know my talent. I know what it is that I'm called to do. This is the lane that I operate in unashamedly, unabashedly. And I'm going to do it with unmitigated gall. I'm going to bring the tenacity. I'm going to bring the passion to it. Because here's the thing. This is more than a job. It's a calling. I ain't on vacation. I'm on vocation. God gave Adam a place. God gave Adam power. Power to have dominion, not over a woman, not over a man, but over his plan. Here it is for him to dominate his space. That's why a man got maybe that's even why a man got a man cave. It's his space. If I ain't got no other space in the house, at least I got this. This is my domain. Where I have dominion. Where I dominate. Where I create. Here's the thing. When you don't dominate in your purpose, you always want to dominate a person. Let me say that twice because it's oh so nice. Here's the thing. You can make millions of dollars and still not dominate in your purpose. Did you hear what I just said? You can have 1 million followers on social media and still not dominate in your purpose. You can have all the clothes and the shoes and all the makings of what the media feels and classifies and deems as successful. Got people making millions of dollars a year and still hate their job. Still don't like what it is that they do. Why? Because they operate in their gifting, but they don't operate in their anointing. Did you hear what I just said? They're operating their gifting, but they're not operating in their assignment. They're not in divine alignment with their divine assignment. Come on, family, type know your assignment. Every man's got to know his assignment. Every man's got to know his assignment. My place has got to be my positioning. And here's the thing. A lot of times when we face ops, when we face opposition, we retreat out of position. No. You got to stand your ground. Draw a line in the sand. This is what God told me to do. It don't matter how many winds come. Don't matter how many opinions come. I'm a man with a plan. I'm an MVP. And that's how it's going to be. 10 toes down on my assignment. 10 toes down on being in divine alignment with my divine assignment. Let me dissect the next two. I'm coming right back. I got a special message for you. Yeah, MVP type of message for you. Stick and stay. More's coming your way. More breakthrough on the other side of this break. After these messages, your homeboy is coming right back. Are you an author or aspiring author interested in building your book? Do you want to develop as a speaker and communicator? Listen, check out my array of solutions and systems like my bestseller book blueprint and successful speaker strategies. Explore my tailor-made programs designed to nurture your purpose and grow your greatness. In order to increase your ideas, your impact, and your influence, visit us today at theeaglesacademy.com/store so you can soar. Yes, y'all. And we don't stop. Each of those resources that you heard. Let's get back to the word. You know what? I got to say this. I'm loving the colorful spectrum. I can't believe I haven't mentioned that yet. And that's all because you have purchased badges. It's so colorful in here with all these comments. Make sure that you purchase a badge. Be a part of our YouTube channel membership. We have 3 tiers. Yeah, cheers for 3 tiers. Cheers for 3 tiers. And that would be VIP, very important person, but you also have a very important purpose. You got royalty, kings and queens, royalty demands loyalty. And then we have OQP, only quality people. Why should I become a member is what you say. We got exclusive content. I have exclusive content that I only share in the members only section and area because membership has its privileges that I don't share necessarily here. Okay. So member only discounts, exclusive content in our Connor's Corner. That's right. Get the pom-poms out. We cheering for it. Be a part of our growing and glowing community of quality people. Join now. Then, of course, come on, family. Drop some eagle emojis in the chat. Our Eagles community, you want to make sure that you join there. We go even further and farther than we are here. Won't you take a flight of faith with us into your future? Go right now. Let's come on. All aboard. Time to come on with us. Guess greater in my private group coaching area, theeaglesacademy.com, theeaglesacademy.com, theeaglesacademy.com. MVP is what we're talking about. Men valuing purpose. I told you, God gave Adam 4 things in the garden, right around that Genesis chapter 2 area. And here's the thing. I always would ask the question, why didn't God create Adam and Eve at the same time? Have you ever asked that question? I like to ask some interesting questions. Why wouldn't he create Adam and Eve at the same time? And here's the thing. The woman was so precious that Adam had to prove that he was deserving of her. I told you, God never gave Adam a woman before he gave him work. If you can't prove yourself on this level, you won't be able to handle her on that level. Why? Because she's a helpmate. She needs you to have something to help with. Come on, my brother. Do you have a vision that a woman can help you to fulfill? She's a helpmeet, not just to help you meet the bills, to help you to fulfill your vision. And that's why when Adam proved himself on the particular level, here's what it is. Adam never said it's not good for me to be alone. God said it about him. My brother, what would God say to you about you? Would God say it's good for you to still be alone because there's some things you still need to work on? Hello, you know the answer. Or would God say it's not good for you to be alone? Why? Because you've done everything that you can possibly do in your singleness. That I need you to be fruitful and to multiply. Why? Because 1 can chase 1,000, 2 can chase 10,000. I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we're together. You make me better. I don't need you to be specifically alone. You've done everything that you can possibly do on your own, alone. And now here's what I need you to do. I need you to amplify. I need you to multiply. I need you to exponentially increase. And you can't do that by yourself in a silo. You need the woman who is right for you, not just any woman, the right woman who understands your purpose. Oh, Lord have mercy. Brother, make sure she understands your purpose. Is she a distraction to your purpose? Is she trying to pull you away from your purpose or push you into the prism of your purpose? Why? Because as a husband, you're a house band. Yeah. Like a house band at that plays. Yeah, you got the guitarist, you got the drummer, you got the singer, and you're the one who's orchestrating the whole thing. Keeping everybody on key, keeping everybody in note, keeping everybody in sync. Sounds all right. One person playing at a time, but all of us in synchronicity together? It's not a cacophony, there's harmony. Come on, family, type harmony. My dear sister, I hope you're not the type of wife, but you're the kind of wife that a man needs in his life. And here's the thing. Everybody that's your type is not your kind. Oh, my brother, I know you got a type. Come on, bruh. Yeah, man. HTA, HTC, hard truth alert, hard truth conversation. Yeah, bro. Curves like the letter S. Curves like the letter S. But just make sure she ain't a snake. Well, you said, yeah, that's my Ruth right there. But make sure she can tell you the truth, too. Yeah, I'm her Boaz. Boaz is dead, bro. Boaz is dead. I need you to make your purpose come alive. I told you, God gave Adam a place. Every man got to know his place. He's got to be positioned in place. Stay in place. When you're in place, you'll never be replaced. Got to stay in place. I can't rest on my laurels. I can't retreat. I can't retract. Can't have a setback. Got to stay in my place. And staying in my place is, here it is, staying in the face of God. Got to seek his face to know my place. You're doing a lot of FaceTime with her, but how much FaceTime you been having with the Lord? When Adam sinned in the garden, God asked Adam, where are you? It's not a question of location, it's a question of proximity and relationship with him. Where have you lost your place? I'm talking to some brothers. Have you lost your place? The place where you feel, I guess I'm just getting older and this ain't happening. And now I'm going through a divorce and and you're focused on everything that's external. Money is funny. Credit or debit can't get it. Change is strange. Dime don't have time. Nickel is fickle. You're focused on everything that's external. Have you lost your place internally? Because when you settle, you'll never get to the next level. I got to get back in place. I got to get back in place. And I get back in place by seeking his face. Seeking his face as the husband. Seeking his face as the father. Seeking his face as the mighty man of valor that you have been created, crafted, and called to be. Come on, family, type mighty man. Mighty man. A mighty man. A man, mature, assertive, nurture. God gave Adam 4 things in the garden. One was a place. Adam knew his place. Place is about more than just where I live. Place is about what lives within me. Adam also had power. Not to dominate a person, but to dominate his purpose. You'll always try to dominate a person when you don't dominate your purpose. Thirdly, Adam had presence. I ain't talking about being G'd up from the feet up. I ain't talking about being Gucci down to the socks. I ain't talking about, as Biggie would say, stink pink gators, my Detroit players. Tim's for my hooligans from Brooklyn. I ain't talking about that. I'm not talking about the things that hypnotize you. Eddie, can't you see? No, that's the remix. I'm talking about the presence of God. Because here's the thing. When I have his presence, and his presence is with me, here's the thing. My presence is a present. When I have his presence, my presence is a present. Why? Because when I go into any environment, when I step into the building, when I step into the boardroom, when I step into the office, when I step into the church, when I step into the house, when I step into the school, when I step into the community, when I'm on the street, when I'm in the suites, from the streets to the suites, I shift the atmosphere. Why? Because I'm not a thermometer, I'm a thermostat. I don't reflect, I set. You got a nasty negative attitude. I'm not going to reflect it. I'm going to set the atmosphere for something different. Why? Because I understand that my presence is a present because I got the presence of God on my life. Come on, family, type place. type power, type presence. Do you know what Eden meant? Eden. I remember Donald Lawrence, great gospel producer, arranger, had a song, Let's Get Back to Eden, sitting on top of the world. And if you really think about Eden, as Adam was placed in the Garden of Eden, Eden, one of the derivatives of Eden means presence. It is where God resides. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving, into his courts with praise. I have to be in his presence. Am I creating an Eden environment in my house? Am I creating an Eden environment in the space and the place of my relationships, to where I have the presence of God? And here's the thing, when I have the presence of God, it brings peace. When I have the presence of God, it brings direction. It brings connection. It even brings correction. Hello, we don't like correction now. But whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth. He has to discipline us. He got to whoop us back into place sometime. Because you only discipline those that you love. If you love yourself, here it is, you live a disciplined life. Are you seeing the correlation here? Every man's got to live a disciplined life. Got to have self-discipline. That's that's an attribute of having his presence. Here's another thing. A man who has God's presence understands that everybody don't deserve his. When I got God's presence, I understand everybody don't deserve my presence. Why? Because my presence is a present. Everybody doesn't deserve the gift of my presence. Who am I talking to? I hope it's you. I'm selective. Why? Because I understand that I'm special. And one thing as men that we have never done, that we have never even been taught to do, we've never been taught really about parameters. We never really were taught about how to say no. You mean you got to catch everything thrown at you? Bro, you ain't got no discipline? Presence. God gave Adam a place. God gave Adam power. God gave Adam presence. God also gave Adam purpose. I was telling you about hearing from the late, great Dr. Miles Monroe, who talked about, yes, his vision, but he also mentioned something that I thought was rather powerful. He talked about purpose. And he said, vision is purpose in pictures. Every man has to have a picture of his future. Every man has to have a picture for his future. And here's the thing, oftentimes our picture, we have faded pictures, broken glass. Shout out to Case. Oh, R&B song. Faded pictures, broken glass, simply because of, here it is, the frame that holds the picture has been totally broken, has been totally distorted. Your father was supposed to be the frame for your future. Why? Because when you see him, even as a boy, it's a clear picture of, that's the type of man that I will be. How do you play a role if you weren't given a script? How do you become a man if you don't see one, much less interact with one? The frame is broken. Because here's the thing. The framework, the foundational framework, we placed it in money. You placed it in women. You placed it in street credibility. You placed it in trying to be a tough guy. You placed it in trying to please other people. You placed it in wearing a mask to cover your true masculinity. It was placed in all of the trauma and the triggers of what it is that you never healed from. And God is coming into your life like a builder, like an architect with a blueprint that says the way that it has been, what it is that you're trying to build, the structure of what it is that you're trying to build will never last, will never scale, simply because the foundation is broken. A tree will grow as high as its roots are deep. A skyscraper will scale as high as it is built into the foundation below the ground. Are you willing to do the work that nobody can see? Until now you prosper into that work that everybody can see. Are you willing to develop your place? Are you willing to pour into your power? Are you willing to place yourself in the presence of God? Are you willing to be an MVP who values their purpose as a man? An MVP as a most valuable parent. An MVP as a most valuable partner. An MVP developing your most valuable plan. What are you doing to develop as an MVP? My dear brother from another mother, there is no trophy without a testimony. There is no building without healing. Are you willing to do the work to make it work? Hear me. If you work it, it's going to work for you. The greatest enemy is oftentimes the enemy. Don't allow you to get in your way. Create a way out of no way. Allow God to empower you, to speak life into you, to develop you as the man with a plan. Because being a man is more than just you pumping your chest and you just tapping your chest and you just beating your chest like you Tarzan in the jungle talking about I'm the man. I'm the man. That's more than a noun. It's an action. It's a verb. Since you the man, what are the attributes of it? What are you doing to manage, to maintain, to manifest, to use God's manual to make your life work as the man? Talking about I'm him. Got to be about more than just work. It's got to be in deeds. Because you're the man that society needs. Did you hear me? It's got to be about more than words. It's got to be about in deeds. Because indeed, you are the man that our community needs. The man that our home needs. You're the man that a woman needs. You're the right kind of husband that God is preparing you for your future wife. She needs you. It's time to get in proximity with your purpose. My brother, you can't expect a purpose partner if you have not first partnered with your purpose. Your purpose is calling you. Are you going to answer the call? Come on, family, type answer the call. Come on, family, type answer the call. You've been sending the call to voicemail. You've been ignoring the call. Time to answer the call. Answer the call as a committed man. Answer the call as a man with a plan. Answer the call for what God has called you to do in your life. Come on, you've procrastinated long enough. You've done everything except that for all these years. You've thrown it away. You said it wasn't for you. You said you thought God forgot you. He hasn't forsaken you. He hasn't left you for dead like everybody else may have done to you. Pick up that vision again. Embrace your anointing. Embrace your assignment. Come on now. MVP. It's the fourth quarter. Ain't much time left on the clock. It's game 7 of the finals. It's Super Bowl. It's the World Series. It's time to get serious about changing not the world, but your world. Enough of us as men change our world, we'll change the world. The ball is in your hands. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? Story of a old man and a young boy. And this young boy thought that he could outwit an old man. Young people think they know everything. Sometimes old people don't think they can learn anything new. But both of them were, in many cases, internalizing what Kevin Hart said, you're going to learn today. Young boy picked up a fragile bird in the street, brought the bird across the street, holding it behind his back, and he's kind of picking on the old guy. And he said to the old man, "Sir, I got a bird behind my hand, got a bird in my hand behind my back. Is the bird dead or alive?" This old man was always the wisest, even one of the oldest in the neighborhood. Seemed to always have an answer for everything. But maybe he didn't have an answer for this one. Old man heard the question, is the bird dead or alive, that the boy is holding behind his back. Old man is sitting in his rocking chair, chilling. Nice brisk breeze outside on a cool sunny day. Old man ponders the question, puts his hand under his chin, furrows his brow, pushes his glasses up on his face, gathers himself on his walker to hold up his weight and push himself out of the rocking chair. Holds himself up over his walker, peers through his glasses, squints his eyes. And before he gives an answer, the young boy says to himself, if the man says that the bird is dead, I will let it go so that it can fly. But if he said the bird is alive, I will crush it. Sound like the young boy was going to outwit the old man. All of a sudden, the old man looks at the young boy and says, "Young lad, you asked me, is the bird dead or alive? Young boy said, "Yes, sir." The old man looked at him and said, "The answer is in your hands." If the bird dies, it's up to you. If the bird lives, it's up to you. I don't know if you're a young man. I don't know if you're an old man. I don't know if even you're a young boy, but I'm talking to you and letting you know that the questions that you've been grappling with, the answer is in your hands. Come on, family, type "it's in my hands." The answer's in your hands for school development. The answer's in your hands for unity in our community. The answer is in your hands for figuring it out to be a father. The answer's in your hands to be a husband, to be a leader, to be a scholar. The answer is in your hands. What are you doing with what you've been given? God said to Moses, "What's in your hand?" And I want you to know, to every king who's listening, to every queen who loves these kings, God's hand is on your life. You would have died a long time ago. You would have died in the jail cell. You would have died with the prison system. You would have died in solitary confinement if God's hand wasn't on your life. You would have died from that divorce, because oftentimes divorce is a death. You would have died from the molestation and the abuse, the verbal and the physical abuse of what it is that you experienced in your life. You would have died, or you would have quit a long time ago. God's hand is on your life. And hear me, God's hand comes with a plan. Everybody's hand don't come with a plan. The enemy comes with a plot. God comes with a plan to prosper you and not to harm you. As he said in Jeremiah, it's in your hand, man. It's in your hand. Don't use your hands to heal and to help, but you're going to use your hands to hurt and to harm. It's in your hands. Death and life. Yeah, it's in the power of the tongue, but it's also in the power of your hands too. God's hand is on your life, and his hand comes with a plan. Your hand ought to come with a plan. Your hand ought to come with healing. Your hand ought to come with help. Your hand ought to come with happiness and hope, not hardship. Family, I want you to get a seed in your hand. I want you to get an MVP type of seed in your hand. As you get that seed in your hand, I want you to sow according to your faith, that you're sowing into your vision. You're sowing into your purpose. You're sowing into your value. You're sowing into the man that you believe in God to do something extraordinary in his life. For your son, for your cousin, for your brother, for your grandfather, for your father, for your husband, for your significant other, for your fiance. I want you to sow a seed, because I believe it's going to meet every need. As you're sowing that seed, you can do it via Cash App, $ Access Identity, PayPal, Zelle, EddieConnorJr, Gmail. You can sow it through those electronic mediums. You can also give a super chat and a super sticker. Listen, we've been having a super conversation. I would that you sow via super chat, super sticker. It's not as a debt that you owe, it is a seed that you sow. And I want you to sow into this good ground here. This good word comes with good ground to sow into. Would you grab a seed in your hand, knowing that God is going to multiply it? David said, what shall I render to the Lord for all of his benefits? He couldn't think of nothing else, because what can I give God that he don't already have? He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. Everything that was made by him. So rather than he said, what I'll give God, he said, I'll take. I will take of the cup of salvation. I want you to take a seed in your hand. I want you to extend it. And I want you to name it. Name your seed. Maybe you're naming your seed healing. Maybe you're naming your seed place, purpose, power, provision, protection, presence. I want you to name that seed. And I'm believing God's going to do 30, 60, 100-fold, exceedingly abundantly, above all that you can ask or think. God is amplifying your seed, and he's meeting the need. Maybe, my dear sister, you're saying, I'm sowing an MVP seed because I'm expecting a man who values his purpose in my life. Maybe, my brother, you say, I'm sowing an MVP seed simply because I'm a man valuing purpose. I'm becoming who God has created me to be. Electronically, $access identity for Cash App, PayPal, Zelle, EddieConnorJr, Gmail. The links are in the chat. The links are in the description as well. Super chat, super sticker. And I'm believing God's going to do it for you, in you, with you, through you, and for you. Family, I hope you got something from this. Did this word bless somebody? Did this word bless somebody? Did this word speak to somebody's heart and life today? I hope so. We go even further and farther beyond just the YouTube side. I want you to join us. Be a member of MyEquals community. Yeah. Go to theeaglesacademy.com. When you get there, tap the Join Now button, fill out the form, be transformed. Why do I want you to join us? Because we have industry leaders. 95% of the time, people achieve their goals by having an accountability partner. We have accountability partners who are part of our community. Come on, Eagles, drop some eagle emojis in the chat. It's my private group coaching area. It's where I coach, it's where I teach, it's where I train, it's where I mentor. It's where we give strategy, structure, solutions, and systems to take your vision to another level. We do that through our breakout sessions. We do that through the homework that we give, the Eagle's Nest Reflections. We do that by holding ourselves accountable by what it is that we decide to do. We see it through to the finish line. YouTube channel membership. We have some tiers. Give some cheers to the tiers. VIP, royalty, OQP. I want you to be a member of our YouTube channel. Exclusive content, behind the scenes, insight and information as well. Come on, family, hit the thumbs up button on this video if this session has been a blessing. Yeah, hit the thumbs up button on this video if this session has been a blessing at all. Family, In the Mix is out of time. But trust me, I'm not out of truth. Like that poetic genius Tupac Shakur said, there's no way I can pay you back, but my plan is to show you that I understand. So I want you to know that you are appreciated. So I want to thank you for rocking with me, riding with me, and rolling with me. Why? Because that's just how we roll. And we do that each and every single Monday through Friday, every weekday, right here on the YouTube side and also our social media satellite sites. While you're here on the YouTube side, of course, hit that thumbs up button. I want you to be a ghost follower now. Come on. Don't want you to be a ghost follower. I want you to hit that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button on this channel. It's a channel for change. It's a channel that creates change. It's a channel that breaks chains. So rock with us, ride with us, and roll with us. Follow me on all the social sites at EddieConnorJr, EddieConnorJr. Listen, if I can help you, if I can serve you in any way, don't hesitate. Please reach out to me. If you're looking for a dynamic speaker, look no further. I'm the man for the job. Invite me to speak at your church, your men's conference, your conference at all, whatever, your college, your graduation, your school, your session. Let's make progression. Invite me via email, info@EddieConnor.com. I would be honored to be there and empower you. It's yours truly, Dr. Eddie, your main man, 100 grand, your brother from another mother. Family has been fun, but you know a brother gotta run. I want you to know it's been a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy beyond measure. But I want you, yes, you, to remember to keep the faith and believe it's going to be bigger, better, brighter, peace, and a whole lot of love. Keep soaring higher. Let's soar beyond my YouTube channel. If you want something that goes beyond here, you're in for a treat. I have a private mentorship group where I coach, where I teach, and I provide live Q&A insight in our interactive breakout sessions. It's where I challenge you with innovative exercises to develop your skill set. And I provide feedback to foster your growth. We break it all down to build you up in our private Zoom room as we focus on transformative topics with accountability partners who really desire to grow their greatness by soaring into success and greater purpose. Come on, soar to new heights with us in our Eagles Academy. Get your wings to win, and let's soar into more at theeaglesacademy.com.